Welcome to the Explosive Strength Podcast with Jared Bidney. On today's episode, I have Landon Mathis here with me. Landon started with me when he was, I think, 7th grade, maybe 8th. We'll let him get into details. Landon now plays football for the University of West Georgia. He's also a state record holder in the deadlift. So we're going to talk about where he started and where he ended up as far as his strength numbers, kind of how he got there, and try to give a little bit more training info on this podcast. So anyway, here we go with Landon Mathis. Landon, welcome.
What's up, Jared?
How's it going?
It's going good.
What grade did you start in? Was it 7th or 8th grade?
It was in between 6th and 7th grade that summer.
Ooh, that long ago, huh?
Yeah. So like 6 years ago.
Super weenie.
Yeah,
It was pretty bad then. Do you remember what your first bench was?
Probably, I'd say like around 115, 125.
As a 6th grader? Not bad.
Yeah.
What how'd you hear about the gym? I know you went to school with Colton.
Yeah, I went to school with Colton, so that was kind of like the first little bit, but I played baseball with Dooley Bunn and played football with
Did the Buns
Jacob
come
Duncan.
here?
Yeah.
Did they come here first?
Yeah, they came here before me, and JD came here, and we found out, my dad, talking to the coaches, their dads, and was like, you should get Landon in there, he'd really benefit from it, and Dad didn't really think anything of it at the time, and then we got him here and just went balls to the wall. And
Went to the work.
yeah.
Went to the work. Geez, I didn't realize, and I was like telling a couple people on other podcasts I've done, I like hearing how people got started because it's been so long ago, I can't even remember what we did yesterday. That's why we keep track of everything in these folders. So that's pretty cool. I didn't realize you started between 6 and 7.
Yeah.
First squat, you remember that?
I couldn't remember. It was probably 135, 155, somewhere around there, 185.
Not naturally gifted at it, huh?
No.
What was your best 40? Not your best, your starting. Your starting.
I think it was in the mid 6s. I'd say like a 6'5" or 6'4".
Okay. Let's talk about, you started off around a 115 bench.
Mm-hmm.
What was your best bench here before you went to school?
Best bench here was 375.
All right. Started off around a 135 squat.
Yeah.
What was your best squat?
I hit 500 a couple months before I left to go to college.
So from 135 to 500.
Yeah.
So 115 to 375, you said your best bench?
Yeah, best bench here.
Do you remember your starting vertical?
It had to be probably like a 14 or 15.
And your best?
I hit a 37.5.
37.5.
For senior year football.
And you're not very light. How much do you weigh?
Right now, I'm between 230 and 240.
And you hit that 37-inch vertical probably around 220?
220, 225.
What was your best 40?
I think a 479.
479?
480, something right there.
Yeah, and we're doing all those lasers, right?
On the lasers.
Yep. So, what was it like in high school? Like when you're in high school, your numbers were pretty good, but although you had high school weight training, sometimes your numbers would drop just because high school stimulus is a little different than what we do here. How would you explain the difference between what they do in high school versus what we do here? Are you're not really given? I don't know. I'll let you explain it.
It's like in high school we did a bunch of different things, and like it's like bench one day, squat the next. It's like you're on a cycle all the time, and there it's just like you're just throwing stuff at you and giving you the same reps for every weight. And like here you could do 3 sets of 4 instead of 5.
Let's talk about the reps. How many reps do you typically have at school?
At school we do 5 sets of 5. Like in college right now we do 5 sets of 5 on every main lift.
What about high school?
High school it varied from 5 to 8, maybe 10 on some days. So like if I were to lift at school and then come lift here and it was a squat day, I would do like close to 60 squats at school, like 60 reps, and then come in here and already be dead from that and have to squat here again. So it took a toll on me a little bit.
Until you got used to it.
Yeah.
But I think people need to know that anything more than 6 reps, once you become a little bit more advanced, will hinder strength development.
Yeah.
So like when these high schools are doing a 10-8-6 or whatever in high school, they're only doing one set at the minimum threshold.
Yeah.
So you have different methods of strength training. You got your maximum effort.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly your 3. You got your maximum effort, you got your dynamic effort, and you got your repetition method. The reason like sets of 10 and stuff are bad is your high threshold fibers, like your fast twitch fibers, they don't get pulled into play until they're in a fatigued state.
Yeah.
So that's why like we typically do 5 reps here, or we'll do sets of 3, or sometimes y'all are making able to get 1 or 2 reps.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do is like when we're doing anywhere between 2 and 5 reps, is we're calling on our high threshold motor units and fibers to fire at optimal discharge frequency so that we're able to utilize those fast switch fibers now instead of when we're getting tired. So you don't want to blow off the line and about 2 seconds and 3 seconds into blocking someone, then your fast switch fibers kick in. You need to be able to get those fast switch fibers to kick in real quick so that you're able to fire and go from point A to point B quicker. Yeah. And so I think that needs to be known. Dynamic effort is just moving a lightweight very fast. Sometimes with a dynamic effort, especially with high school kids and younger kids, the dynamic effort method, the bar moves too fast for the kids to get strong. And so I think that if the bars move too fast for the kids to get strong, they have to be strong before they can become fast. And so with the repetition method, that's mainly used more in our accessory work, on our lat pull downs, our tricep press downs. Then we're getting more reps in, because the more reps does yield a little bit more muscle growth. If we stay at 5 or less all the time, we don't have a lot of tissue change as far as muscular size. And so if you kind of look at it this way, if you play tug of war, you play tug of war, and I'm starting to get more and more men on my side, and you start to get more and more men on your side, those more and more men that I'm talking about are your motor in units. Those are the things actually attached to the fiber that causes the fiber to fire. And so the more men we can adhere to that muscle tissue, the more that tissue scrunches. So if you look at the muscle tissue up under an electron microscope, you'll see that tissue actually shorten. And so the more units that attach that tissue, the more it looks like a slinky. And so if you have one motor unit tied to it, it's not as scrunched. So the more men we get to pull on those fibers, the more neurons and the more neuromuscular activity that we can get to pull on that fiber, the greater that muscle contraction will be. And so that would be more of the max effort method as far as neuromuscular development. Now, once you get so strong neuromuscularly, you do have to start adding size. Because like the tug of war example, like if I continue to have more and more men, that rope's not getting any bigger, which is the muscle tissue itself. And so I have to, at some point, try to increase muscular size. That's why we do our accessory work with some muscular size activation. Because if we keep adding more and more neurons to that fiber can then break or tear or strain. So that's why we have those different methods. We do use the dynamic effort method for our jumps. That's why we always don't jump the young ones as much sometimes, but they do experience it. So we are getting all 3 rounds of strength development. You know, your maximum effort, your dynamic effort, and your repetition method. Which is very frustrating because I do have a degree in exercise science, and I am certified by the National Strength and Conditioning Association, and I'm also a sports performance director for a college. And none of those methods are taught in college, which is frustrating. So you got to go outside sources. That's kind of where Louis Simmons and Westside Barbell came into my life and really helped me understand how to then start getting stronger. So
I feel like the way we lift in college is kind of like we're trying to maintain everything.
Yeah, what was your experience? Okay, when you got to college, were you surprised how weak people were?
Yeah, it was eye-opening almost. Like the starters on the team weren't really as strong, and I came in there and my numbers, everyone was like kind of took them by surprise.
Yeah, the strength coach there was pretty impressed with you, right?
Yeah, like even in the summer, like I had just came off a pec tear in January and came in July and benched 365, and he was like, "Where did that come from?" I'm like, I mean, I was there before. It's not hard to get back, and then I squatted 500, and again,
these are all freshman numbers.
Yeah,
you know,
and I mean, not really any freshman is really close to those numbers. There's a few guys that are in there that
those are your freshman numbers.
We'll get close to those numbers,
but you don't even have. Do you have any seniors like that are that strong? How many kids y'all got on the team? 100 or something?
Yeah, probably like 110.
All right. How many you think at your level?
Not even a handful, maybe 5 or 6 at the most.
Yeah.
And I mean,
and they've already been there.
Who it is,
yeah.
Who's there? Like you could just go and watch and look in the weight room and see who's going to be at that level and who's not.
What do you think it is? You think it's a lot of these kids don't go get outside sort because most everybody's got high school weight training now,
Yeah.
right?
I think it's what's really helped me get to that next level and to where the level I'm at now was coming here.
Yeah.
I don't think if I stayed,
Because you'd have stints in school to where you'd kind of slack off.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people's girlfriends get in the way. I tell everybody, I said, if a guy said you don't need a girlfriend, I told the girls the other day for the little softball team I was training, I said, ladies, let me tell you something. New year, new you. So we're going to start the year off by, if you have a boyfriend, you need to break up with your boyfriend. And we're just going to be done with it.
Yeah.
And they said, Jared, that's me. I said, it ain't me. I said, you don't need to be distracted.
Yeah.
And so
it can be a distraction.
yeah, because you think, especially at the young age, you think you need to spend some time with them. And
That time takes away from the gym.
yeah, and that, then the bad thing about a high school relationship is usually when you get to college, that high school relationship's not even going to be in existence. You're like, dang, I wish I would have killed so much time with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen it derail a lot of people. I mean, I guess you just have to realize that relationship may not be there forever.
Mm-hmm.
If she has feelings, tell her to put her feelings to the side and you got to go to work.
Yeah.
But so what I was trying to get at is that you still have high school weight training.
Mm-hmm.
We jack your numbers up. And then the stimulus of high school training alone, your numbers start going downhill again, right?
I mean, so like my junior year, I hit 495 on squat. That was that was like my highest squat at that time.
Yeah, I was trying to get Landon to break or win the Ironman at his high school. Ironman for high school is kind of like
It's kind of like, I guess you could call it a powerlifting meet
it's kind of like a
ish.
I guess some type of athletic test.
Yeah.
You got to do a bench, a squat, power clean,
Yeah.
a pro shuttle.
Pro shuttle, then
40.
40.
You got to do a 10 or 20.
They did a 10.
Okay, and vertical jump, broad jump. Is
Vertical
broad jump on there?
Broad jump was, and then they did this thing called the over under. You jump over the guy's back.
Yeah. So almost like an NFL combine test,
Yeah.
except for a little more lifting. You know,
Yeah.
an NFL combine, they don't squat or power clean.
Mm-hmm.
And so all these were advanced overall athleticism. You got to be strong, you got to be fast, and you got to be explosive.
Yeah.
And so I think Ironman test kind of tested it. So we was trying to get Landon to break the high school record, and he could have done it if the little girlfriend went in the way.
Yeah.
But so what happened? You went from a 495 squat.
And I only squatted, I think, 455.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hit my best bench at the time, which was 355. Power clean, maybe 250, 275, somewhere in there.
What was your vertical jump at the time? Because
It was, I think, a 34.
34.
Or 33.
Yeah, 33 or 34.
Yeah.
And you'd had a previous 36 before the Ironman.
Yeah. before
So,
that, man.
yeah, so the point we're trying to get at is the high school stimulus is not always enough to keep you on your top of your game.
Yeah.
You know, I guess because if they're prescribing the wrong sets and reps, that absolute strength that you've developed kind of starts to go back downhill.
Yeah, it's like on the days where we would squat out the roof and have all these reps, it'd kill my back and wouldn't be able to come in here and squat. So it was kind of like tit for tat. Like I even got kicked out of the weight room.
Oh yeah, you got kicked out of the weight room because you came here.
Yeah, because I mean, doesn't.
Yeah,
Jared's really not liked at the high school, I don't think, but
yeah, well, the
no one knows why either.
Yeah, you get high school strength coaches don't like me.
I don't understand why. You're making all their athletes better.
Well, I had this for you. We won't say the school name, but you were one of the strongest people on the team.
Yes, if not the strongest.
Yeah,
Maybe there was one person who's stronger.
Then these other high schools around here, I've got the strongest kids out of every high school in the local area.
Every single high school, and there's what, 8 or 9 high schools around here.
Yeah, and I also test running speed. You know, you got other places around here that are gyms that say they do sport performance or their performance whatever, or they got these little programs for these kids and stuff, and people want to get faster. But those places don't even test for running speed.
Exactly.
And they don't even have the room to test. And I've had people leave here, go there, come back, and it's more agility, cone running. It's not a lot of strength involvement.
Yeah.
I say, well, if you're going to be faster, you got to get stronger, but you got to get stronger in the appropriate strength ranges. You know, like us, we measure a lot of stuff with the tendo units and things like that in order to increase rate of force development, but we also track at the end of each month for 40-yard times. You know, that's how Landon knows. He started from the mid-6s. He got down to a 4.7. And so I've got folders, like if you listen to the Birds Sports Performance podcast on one I did with him a couple episodes ago, and we just go down and label out, okay, this person went from here to here to here to here. And so a lot of that's real critical, especially for, I think it's even more critical now for baseball athletes. These high school kids, when you're going off to summer camps and things to like either Michigan or Stanford or Georgia, Auburn, Alabama, wherever you go for your football camp, or even now at Mercer where you have these multiple coaches come to one campus.
Yeah.
They're testing for those things. If you're a big looking kid and you can move like you can, you draw their interest. If you don't have numbers, you know, like softball, if you can't get from home to first, that's being timed when you go to these things. When you go on these camps, they're usually doing, most of the camps that I've been to for college recruiting, they're always doing the 40, they're doing the shuttle, and most of the time they're doing the vertical. People knock on the jump mats, but when you go to these camps, you've been there yourself, and they use those jump mats, right? So if you don't know how to jump on the jump mat, knock it or whatever you want to think, if you're not training on it, you may not be good at it. The jump mat, if you look at the National Strength Conditioning Association research, they actually correlated it to the Vertec. You know, I've had Zach Glaske jump to 35 on a mat, went to his pro day, slapped on the Vertec. We hit the slats, and he jumped 35. Same thing with Mike Kinderman. Mike Kinderman was 300-pound, 34-inch vertical jumper. He jumped 34 on a mat, and they were so worried that because it's a different field, because usually on a mat you want to jump up and hit something. But with the mat, for the whole purpose of the mat is we're trying to train lower body explosiveness. I don't care, I just need your legs to be powerful, so I'm not really worried about what your arms are. Sometimes we don't even use arms when we jump. And trying to create that power. We also try to grab various dumbbells, get a record with that, and try to break that record.
Yeah, when we jump in here, it gets intense.
Yeah, I tried to do an Instagram live a little bit. It's not, it's not rapid fire. It's not you jump, I jump, 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 jump. We're not trying to do 5 sets of one in 5 minutes. It may take us 10, 15, sometimes 20. I've even spent 40 minutes jumping until I break my record. I don't move on. I know some other places around here, they're more, you got to be there at 6 and you got to be out at 7. When they train here, it's,
you get here at the time the workout starts at 4 for the high school guys and college guys.
They may not leave to 6.
Yeah, may not leave till 6. Sometimes even 6:30.
It's not a factory. It's you come here to break a record, and people are worried about, well, what's the workouts like? It's not the workouts. It's about beating those numbers. If you don't beat your jump numbers, if you don't beat your tread sled number, you know, if we're trying to monitor
speed on squat,
if I want you to do 4 sets of 3. And depending on where we waive our workouts, if you may come in and do 5 sets of 5, 4 sets of 3, 3 sets of 4, even as much as 6 sets of 2. We look back, and so like if Landon was going to do 4 sets of 3, last time he did 4 sets of 3, we were recording those numbers in a folder. And when he comes in, it gives him something to shoot for in order to beat for when we're trying to squat. You know, it makes squatting a little bit better. And once you're racing against that tendo, it makes squatting a lot better, and it gives you, oh, I am better. And just because if you feel bad, some days you feel horrible and you come in and you break your speed numbers. And so it's just because you feel bad don't mean you're going to break a record or that you should adjust whatever needs to be done. You know, if your numbers are, if you was moving stuff, what were your, you was squatting, let's talk about, it was squatting 4 or 5. Right? Is that what we were
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, what were you moving it in?
At a point like 8.
Yeah, I think we recorded that.
Yeah, it was
0.8.
3 8s in a row, and then a 7 9 to end the set. That was the last set.
And so then we had to, so 4 or 5 was too light because you're moving too fast. Weight's not heavy or light, it's either fast or slow. And so Landon needs to always explode and put as much force in the bar as you can. And so he shouldn't slow down. The only way you should slow down is if you had more external resistance, more weight. And so then we went to 460. Did you measure?
We went to 460.
What was your measuring what speeds was your 460 at?
460 was at 6s. We got at 6s, so we went up to 475, and that was in the 5s.
Okay.
For the first 2 reps, and then I hit a 4.
So then we probably dropped back down to 460 for more reps, right?
4 sets of 5.
Yeah. So we started off at 3s, went up, speed down, so we would come back, drive those. sets of 3 to sets of 5, trying to get maybe 5 sixes in a row.
Yeah.
And that's pretty hard.
It is. Because you're like, you put
Your first three
into it.
Yeah, you may get a 6 on your first rep,
Yeah.
maybe another 6, then you may go to 5, then another 5, then maybe a 4. I think that's what people need to realize. It's not about the freaking workouts. I hate that. Hey, you're squatting. Yeah, but can you come squat and break your record?
Exactly.
You know, it's not about coming in here. Hey, you can go. That's why you broke a high school record. I meant state record for USA powerlifting.
Yeah.
I've had, 14, 15 state record holders. We use powerlifting to show that we can go kick someone else's butt. Although we compete against adults, mainly in USAPL.
Yeah. There's not really many kids that are out there.
Yeah, we're talking teenagers. Our groups are 14 to 17 years old. And they can't get over how strong we are.
Yeah.
We use that to show you that we can create strength better than anyone else. You know, if you take a bunch of high school kids, teenagers, and you can compete against a bunch of men that's been doing it for years.
Yeah. And they come in and beat you as a team. And
Cody and Kyle would always win first place, and then these adults that are 30, 20, 30, 40 years old, and they're like,
what are these kids doing?
What the heck are these kids doing? Yeah. And so it's kind of bad you go to a powerlifting meet, you know, because I've had, I think I counted 13 high school kids bench 4 or 5 or plus. And we went to a powerlifting meet, and first time I was ever asked anything in my life, what do y'all do for bench? I said, we bench.
Exactly.
Well, I can't never, like, what do y'all do for bench? We do the same thing y'all do. I found out they were probably doing a little bit more overhead shoulder pressing, you know, they're not really working. I think we work our triceps a good bit, a lot more than a lot of people. We also vary our bench. We drove up your incline, we drove up your regular bench, we drove up your cheating butt off the bench. We drove up Paul's bench. We would always vary, not workout to workout. We would pick, maybe let Landon get to 315 with his butt up, put butt back down, and come back and clean that up to where he's put. Then if he did all that, then we may go for Paul's bench phase for a while.
Pause, and then chains even.
Yeah, you bench with chains. You've done, floor press. We change it up. In order to change your bench or change your squat, you got to change your bench or your squat.
Yeah, you said it the other day, is if you want to change, you got to change.
Yeah, and some kid, Jared, what the heck does that mean?
Like, if you want to change, like get better, stronger, faster, you got to change what you do. You can't just keep doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah, but you're not coming in here one day bench pressing, then the next day going to floor press, are you?
No.
We're sticking with it for a while.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like a cycle. Like you get 14 or so workouts, and
So if we're benching 3 days a week, we're going to try to max every month. The test, and we'll switch bars, or we'll switch what we're doing. If not, if they're coming twice a week, you know, it's very hard to get strong in 8 workouts. And strong to our standards is I'm trying to increase your bench press 10 pounds per month, regardless of where we are and different things. So I think a lot of that variation in those numbers, measuring and markings of what we're trying to do, they're not anywhere close to doing that in high school, are they? They just kind of come in to work. Your first set, like in here, you come in and warm up, right?
Yeah, warm up. You go 130, like if you're squatting, you have 405, 135, 225, 315. You hit 365, you might hit 385, then you go into your sets. Yeah,
so we got warm up, then you have working sets. So if we got 5 sets of 5, we're not first set, slight warm up, like Landon just said. We got all these warm ups before we even get to our squat, or even our bench.
We even jump before we like squat. So you dumbbell jump and get those numbers, then your legs are a little bit warm, but then you still go through that weight to get up to your actual work sets.
Well, in high school, y'all don't warm up in high school, do you?
Barely any at all. So like if your first set, I mean, you could probably do, if you get in the weight room early enough, you could get a warm up set or 2 in. And then,
but it's on you. So warm ups are not built into your workout.
No. You get in there and they're like, okay, if you're squatting 405, like they'll do like 275, and then you have 350, then you go up to 405.
So you're working. So you're kind of working up. If you got 4 sets of 5, you kind of got
all work sets.
You got 275, then you got to go to 315, then you got to do 405. That's not enough reps at 405 to get you where you need to go.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people don't understand is, they may work out. Well, there's a difference between working out and training. And when we were training, we're going for numbers. We're going to beat what we did last time. We're not necessarily coming in and adding more weight to the bar as much as we are trying to beat a speed number.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes we have to add weight to the bar to slow them down. Like your speed strength, your strength speed jumped up fairly quickly, didn't it? Especially when we started, hey, Landon, I'm gonna try to get you to 600 over the Christmas break.
Yeah, we squatted max at school and I hit 500, missed 520, and I was just pissed. So I texted Jared, I was like, hey, send him the video. I'm like, what can we do? And he said, we're going to drive it. We're going to get you up 40, 50 pounds, maybe even 600 by the end of the break. And I thought that was crazy, but we got in here and started working, and
His numbers went up very quickly.
Crazy.
So it's just really amazing what you can do once you start monitoring and tracking those numbers.
I think that has a lot to do with high school stuff, because the only time you monitor numbers in high school is when you max. They're not monitoring day-to-day workouts.
Yeah.
You're just...
And sometimes if you got forced, you can choose the weight you want to at school. It's not like where Jared's watching and got all this.
They don't have folders in high school. They don't write your numbers down. They say hit around this percentage of your max, and you'll have percentage sheets on the rack, and
So you just kind of go in and do as you
guesstimate what you want.
Yeah, I know. I heard Colton was squatting 445 was the max as a freshman in high school, and he'd be working out with 185.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was kind of the reason I got kicked out of the weight room that day. Was
trying to go lighter in school.
Trying to go lighter because I knew I had to come in here and grind after school and after practice, and he wasn't too happy about that. So, and I did have an explosive mechanic shirt on, so that might have fueled the fire a little bit.
Yeah, still frowned upon at school, and usually whatever the kids do at school, I'll try to ask. But if you've been here like you have, no, we're gonna grind. You know, for some kids, you got to get them broke into the system to figure out, okay, is this kid gonna last, or are they not?
Yeah.
You let them go through a couple of workouts, then eventually you find your grinders. Then that's the ones you can push. People think they want to push until, oh, this hurts. This don't feel good today. Like I saw a kid the other day.
He was like, my back was hurting, and Joe was like, well, go squat. Like, he doesn't care. Like, if you're gonna come in here and work out, you're not just gonna say, oh, I heard, and not do it.
Yeah, I want to do something else. And then I had a girl the other day said her back hurt. I was like, I looked at her. Can I do something outside squat? I said, no, we don't squat. She didn't squat and get her steps and moved it faster than I thought she was going to move. I said, I looked at her, she looked at me, I said, you just didn't want to squat, did you? No. So sometimes they'll give me an excuse, something's bothering them not to squat. You know, that's why. I mean, that's when you figure out who does and who does not want it. You got to do stuff you don't want to do in order to get better.
Yeah, I mean, there's days you come in here and you just dread squatting, and you just don't want to do it. You're warming up and it doesn't feel good, and then you get into your work sets and your numbers are going the way you need them to go, and it gives you energy, and it gives you like you want to squat and beat those numbers again.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like with squatting with Spieka.
It's fun once you ever beat your squat number. You know, like, okay, you got better. It's not like going to school or going to some other facility where you're going in there squatting and what the heck am I doing this for? You come in, you squat, you break your squat number, so I'm getting better at squat. Then at the end of the month when I test your 40-yard dash, your 40's
faster.
Your 40's better, so now you're starting to get it. But other performance gyms around this area, Peachtree City, Coweta, wherever they are, down the street to the left, down the street to the right, there's a lot more that's moved in, started opening up. They don't test. That's so frustrating. Then I've got over 50 flags on the wall, and over, 35 signings, athletic scholarship signings, and that's not me. That's just on the wall right here. I don't know how many total I've been to, because sometimes people don't give me the pictures. I'm still missing Skowski's picture at Clemson. I was noticing I'm missing Trevor Morgan that went to Memphis. So I was missing quite a few kids. I was like, then I can't even find them. They're already done playing, and so it's just kind of, you see all these results, and I got a book over there that shows all the speed results at each month. But this gym's kind of hot. We don't have air conditioner. 95, 100 degrees in here in summer. We do have heat, so we're able to keep the bars a little warmer in the winter. But Landon's got a hoodie on; it still gets cold. It's you come to explosive mechanics to work, and I think kids are lazy and they don't want to work, so they want to go run around some cones and think they're getting better. They may be sweating, working hard, and maybe a cardiovascular workout, but they'll come back. I had a couple kids a year later come back wearing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Or worse.
Yeah, and I'm like,
then they ask you, and they're like what's wrong? Why am I slower? And
yeah, and I said, well, it's if you don't test, you don't know where you are, so you don't know how to freak to get there.
Exactly.
You know, and so I think that's my most frustrating thing that I got to deal with is people say they do what I do. Even the high schools think they do what I do. Just because you work out, don't mean you train.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a big difference in what I did in high school and what I did here.
Yeah.
And still in college and what I do here is totally different.
But it pays off.
It does.
You know, if the stronger you are, you want to prevent injury, you need to get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to do some type of corrective exercise over there lifting a 5-pound dumbbell to protect your shoulders.
Yeah.
You know, get strong, then work on your other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just not work on the other stuff. Hey, I want to play baseball, so I'm going to work on my small muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think you can work your small muscles without activating bigger ones.
Exactly.
So I had like a Spencer Perry. He went to
An IMG.
IMG. He left here with a 245 or he left here with a 275 bench. Came back benching 235.
Mm-hmm.
That's 85% of where he was.
Exactly.
And I said, Spencer, what the hell you been doing? Working on injury prevention stuff. I said, damn, you know how you prevent injury? You freaking get stronger.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, we didn't live down there. And guess what? He was a defensive back, went to Notre Dame, ran a 5 flat 40 here. I had 2 Notre Dame guys run a 5 flat or higher. I think Spencer ran a 5 flat, and Avery Sebastian that went there, and you can look these names up. He ran a 5-1 there. And these are defensive backs at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And so I even had Georgia Tech run about on that defensive back several years ago. Rashad Reed, he ran a 5-2. And so they're coming here on the laser system, and they're like,
That's not right.
that's not right. I said, you've been lied to.
Exactly.
And just like Lasky said, that when he was at Tech, his numbers didn't change either.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you're saying, at college, it's not driven.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that is they kind of, at the collegiate level, I'm not sure, because at my university, I push my guys.
Yeah.
But with basketball, I guess it's easier because I'm dealing with a smaller pool.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had to deal with a collegiate football team, and I don't think I would want to ever deal with college football. If I ever did strength conditioning full time at the collegiate level, it would be basketball and basketball only. I don't mind. I like my basketball guys, but I would do collegiate basketball. They'd have to pay me a good bit to shut down this business. So I don't think very many schools can afford me. But you know, if they're willing, I'd switch.
Yeah.
Go help and start training basketball guys. So saying all that to say that usually when you get higher end people, if you're dealing with 110 people, sometimes I think that they have to scale back because it's very hard to watch that number of people. How many people do you have watching you West Georgia? You got the head guy, but he's in charge of multiple sports too.
Yeah.
He's got his hands full.
Yeah, we got the head guy. And I mean, all these guys are in the gym when we're in the gym, in the weight room.
Mm-hmm.
We got the head guy, we got a full-time assistant, and then we got 2 grad assistants that are there. So there's 4 people watching, but there's 16 racks.
Okay, so that's a lot better than my situation. In West Georgia's D2, I'm at a D2 college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
16 members on my team, 2 racks. They all come to me at one time.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, how the freak do I get this done? So you know, I said, man, if they can just come here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had 33 people in here the other day.
Yeah. There was a lot of.
And we efficiently ran, and we was in and out.
In less than an hour, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe
an hour.
2 minutes up, 2 or 3 minutes up.
Yeah, that was, sometimes the more people here, the more efficient it runs.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have 2 or 3 people, everybody's so scared out and they can start talking to me, then it's kind of like, okay, it may take a little longer. But I have the stuff in order to need to get it in and out like that, as to where like they do at West Georgia. That's pretty nice that they have some assistance, stuff I don't know, you know, I'm not in your situation.
I think the workouts at West Georgia, they're more intense than they are.
They're more condition based instead of performance based. And I think the reason that is, you have to be in shape. and you got to be able to move, because it does matter in football. How strong are you when you're tired? So sometimes, but you've not had off season, so that's kind of in season. So you're not really, because Landon's just finished his first semester, so we're kind of still new at this as far as what's going on at college. I guess when he gets back in January through May, we'll find out the real grind.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of respect from the strength coach when you got there, so that's positive. Helps a lot when you're in the weight room. You're already strong, and they don't ride you as much.
They kind of just let me do what I do, and like I'll do the workout, but they don't have to watch me and make sure I'm doing things right, because I'm already
once you get to a
level.
Yeah, once you get to a certain level, they trust you.
Yeah.
Then it's up to you, and then you've already become strong, so you don't become weaker.
Exactly.
So you can get your work done.
And there's kids in there that, they'll just do the minimum that they have to do, and that's all they do. And
Yeah.
you just like, why do you not want to get stronger? It frustrates me sometimes.
But I think, how did you feel when you were in middle school and beginning high school when other people were stronger than you?
In here, it was kind of like,
did you want to do all your stuff, or did you kind of want to skip because you didn't feel strong? I don't know.
There was moments where I would skip out on stuff and just do that, but there was like seeing Cody squat and Kyle and Colton squat and all those older guys squat.
Yeah,
it
kind of motivated you.
Motivated me. Like I want
to do that.
Yeah.
And now you're able to do that.
Exactly.
Now people are like looking at you doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that? And what would you tell, if you go back? What would you tell a younger person, as far as like if you tell your cousins, Cooper and Reed, they come.
Yeah.
But they're well, Reed's a little bit. Cooper's more organized and gets his scrap done.
Reed's a little wild.
Reed wants to go play with the radio.
Yeah.
Jared, it's too heavy. Like he was getting. I had him trying to get sets of 5 down bench, and Cooper was spotting him, and Jared, he's only getting 1. Now he got 2 this time. So I said, look, I'm gonna spot him on the last set. He said, no, you let the bar sit on me. I said, yeah. So you better push it up.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting all 5 reps.
Exactly.
I said, you little turd. I think sometimes with the kids, they don't want to.
Sometimes it's kind of like a social hour here for the kids.
Yeah, but I think
everyone grows out of it eventually.
Yeah, I think even though like little Reed's not really focused on getting his reps, those reps he did today would be better than he would have did if he would have not even showed up at all.
Exactly.
So even at a kid at that age, that mentality that's not 100% focused into it, his bench still went up 20 pounds.
Yeah.
When he first started, that was only in 2 months.
2-3 months.
Yeah, when he first started. And so although these kids, like I know it's frustrating for the parent because they're paying X number of dollars to come here, my kids over there screwing off.
Yeah.
Well, I got patience with them. You got patience with them.
Yeah.
Like Cody Bennett, remember Ben, Cody? Piggy T. Ben would always be at the net yelling at his kids because the parents can't come to the gym. You need to get that done.
Yeah.
And I said, look, I went over there, stuff, man. He's a kid. Don't worry about it. Being here, getting some reps, without 100% focus, solves 80% of the problems. And so he looked at me. I said, look, he's going to be strong. He'll be better. But you just got to give him time. You know, he's a kid. They're still a kid. You know, sometimes I get caught up into it too. Like, you just got to be patient with them. You got to let them grow, like you say, grow into it.
Yeah.
And if they're coming here not 100% focused, they're still going to get better. And then they're eventually going to be like you. You're looking at these people that are so strong, so you're going to kind of goof off when you're little. As you get stronger, you get more serious.
Yeah.
And so the
parents,
so the parents just have to let the kids be here long enough so that they can get stronger. Yeah. And as they do become stronger, they become more competitive. They get a lot more confidence. Then they start to understand. And so I think the younger they do that, like if they're 10 years old, by the time they get to 13, that 13-year-old's gonna be a lot more mature in the weight room. He's gonna be a lot more focused in and zeroed in on what they're gonna do. So that not only transfers from here, but it transfers to school, and it transfers to the football field. Because you know, like if they got these assignments, they want to play. No one wants to go to football practice and sit on sidelines.
Exactly.
So once I think the big key is as they're younger, get them started, let them get stronger, let them get developed. 2 or 3 years, if they're starting at 10, by the time they're 13, everything else is going to be affected by it in a positive manner.
Yeah.
And so that's hard to tell because everybody sees like a 10-year-old, I need to be serious, I need to be 100%.
Mm-hmm.
My kid's going to go wherever. Well, you got to be dedicated enough to your kid and be patient until that kid matures. You know, you're not going to go from the first grade to sixth grade overnight.
Mm-hmm.
It takes years.
Yeah, I think that's how my dad was with me. Like he was.
Your dad was very patient.
Yeah. Like he didn't
frustrated.
care.
Me and him had the same thought process sometimes. We're like we're trying to tell these kids as you're maturing, you need to do this, 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 and you still get talked to.
Mm-hmm.
Try to help educate it, but your dad was very, very good at doing stuff. And your dad's another one of the dads or parent that I could call. Hey, Jason, Landon's not here.
Yeah.
So
He's gonna call me. He's gonna be like, "Why aren't you at the gym?" And I'm like,
the thing about Landon, your dad would come here even just to talk to me some days.
"Yeah."
And
come here and talk for an hour.
And so then some days you would you're supposed to be here, and your dad's already here waiting on you to show up, and you wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
You're like, where the hell's Landon at?
Mm-hmm.
Damn kids.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you get a car, you got that truck. Somehow the gas can't get it quite here. It takes a detour.
Yeah. But if I'd say to younger kids, stay consistent.
Yeah.
Because that was probably my hardest thing.
Yeah.
But I was
It
here.
was easy to be consistent when your dad was driving.
Yeah, when my dad was driving me, I was here 6 days a week, every day at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
Same time. Every day. Except for Sundays or Fridays when you were closed.
Yeah.
And I think that's what ultimately made me, I guess you could call it, fall in love with the gym. Like,
Yes.
I was here working out and I was getting better and I wanted to do that. And then when I started driving, the consistency started changing a little bit, but
That's because girlfriends get in the freaking way.
they do.
So guys, if you're out there, if you listen to this, break up with your girlfriend. Jared told me to.
Exactly.
Who the hell is this Jared guy? Well, you look at him. He's on this podcast right here. So
But consistency is probably
biggest-
the biggest thing.
that's the thing I think it's about the kids, although they're not 100% focused.
Their parents bring them in. And
The consistency of the kids showing up.
yeah.
And I think, what'd you bench as a freshman in high school? Do you remember?
Freshman in high school, I think it was 300, but sophomore year hit 315.
Mm-hmm.
And then junior year, I tied with the highest bench on the team, 355. And then I came in here and hit 375. And then I was maxing in here and tore my pec. That was an interesting time.
Yeah, and it did tear it on the max.
Warming up on 315.
Yeah, Jared, you think I should bench today? No. Turn around, Landon's over there warming up 315. I guess seeing how it feels. He goes, Jared, I felt something pop. Landon looked sick to his face. I said, I didn't think you tore it.
I didn't either.
I knew I tore my damn tricep.
Oh yeah, that was bad. That video was hard to watch.
So yeah, that bar came down. But you was able. Did you get it up or did I pull? Who was I spotting?
Ron was spotting me, Mr. Ron.
Okay.
He was spotting me. He pulled it up and
Did you feel it on the way down?
yeah. When I was going down, it just the tendon popped about 7 times as I was going down.
Oh, I didn't realize. I just thought you felt a pop.
Yeah, it was bad.
But you got back from it.
Yeah, about I'd say 5 months.
What was the? Did you just feel sore or tender up in that armpit area that day, or?
It had been a couple weeks prior, so I think we took like a week off from benching and came in here and
Worked your triceps.
yeah.
You still did other stuff.
So yeah, just didn't bench.
Mhm.
We did accessories, curls, triceps.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things too. You still showed up.
Yeah. Even though it was kind of strained and
Yeah, you kind of strained. Hell, it was torn.
Yeah.
You still showed up.
Exactly.
You know, like I see, like Friday he came in here.
Yeah, he broke his hand.
He broke his hand, came bench the same day he broke his hand.
Yeah.
Then he went to the doctor. He didn't realize it was broke. He just knew it was hurting real bad. He came in, still benched, got his crap weight done. I mean, he's probably repping 275 sets of 5 at that time. So it's not light. Broke hand, came in, benched, then went to the doctor. This was after a JV game. This is what I'm telling you. Like you still came in.
Yeah.
Friday he went to football practice. I mean, no, he had a JV game. After the game was over, came to the gym,
Mm-hmm.
benched, then went to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Found out they had a broken hand.
And then after he found out he broke hand, he came in here.
He still came in here.
We rigged up the.
We rigged up the thing so we could do flies to try to keep the pecs activated because he had a cast on his hand from punching another kid in the helmet with his bare hand. I said, Friday, at least let them take their helmet off first.
Exactly.
So, I think that's the big, even consistency. Even if you're hurt, like Mike Kinderman had some herniated disc while he was in college. And we still squatted, but we have a belt squat. If you're hurt or something like that here, we could belt squat. You couldn't really pull your arm back.
I couldn't
So we still
get
safety
back.
squat bar.
We safety squatted.
Yeah. So the gym's kind of set up to where if you have an injury,
We can still work out.
you can still get stuff done. Even squat.
Yeah.
Just squat you on a different bar.
Yeah.
You got hurt back, we can still squat.
Mhm.
Squat you on a belt squat. Like Friday, we just rigged up the thing in the middle to where he still work his chest. That way he don't lose his strength as much when he comes back from the stupid cast. So there's different things that you could do. Like Kyra was in here the other day with the boot on.
I remember freshman year I broke my ankle. I was in here still working out.
Yeah, there's some stuff.
Benching, dips,
Yeah, you can still do some upper body stuff. Now I got some machines to where we can still do some.
lower body stuff.
Yeah, to where I'm trying to get around. If you got an injury, you can still come in here and do stuff. To where at high school, yeah, at high school they just kind of shove you off in the corner.
Yeah,
I don't really know what to do with you.
Yeah, you just sit there and well, you're just gonna sit here and watch the workout until you're better.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Doesn't that make you feel bad for being hurt?
Yeah, like it's your fault for getting hurt.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it can be, but
Yeah, I know mine was, but I didn't care. But look, you're strong now.
yeah,
Still got your bench back up.
yep. Took about 5 months to get back into it.
Yeah, but now you know. You didn't feel right the other day, so now you know when to back off.
Yeah.
But you know you now. You
Yeah.
know, like sometimes it took 2 months for my elbow to rip.
Mm-hmm.
So now you know you, and so it's kind of like I wasn't saying everybody go tear their pec,
Tear the pec or
tear their tricep
Yeah.
or tear something up. Like
to figure out where their breaking point is. But
yeah. So like from my conscious standpoint, hey, this hurts, Jared. If I know you, like your back hurt, hey, let's try this.
yeah, try this, do this, see if that makes it feel better.
Or then we'll get it done.
Yeah.
It's either you can or you can't. No, I can't do this today.
Mm-hmm.
But it took you years before me to be able to trust you whether you can or can't do
Yeah.
this today. It's not like a little kid, like that girl was trying to get out of squats. Her back was not hurting. She knows she says if her back hurts, that maybe Jared's gonna let me back off.
Yeah.
No. And so then it's a lot easier than you thought.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want to squat. I'm like, okay, yeah. So biggest thing for the young kids, just be consistent.
Consistent.
How was the recruiting process for football for you?
I'd say it was kind of slow for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't really highly recruited.
What do you think the holdback was?
Size.
Your overall height.
Yeah. Because my dad's like 6'5", my uncle's 6'4", maybe 6'5".
Yeah, you got a good sized dad.
Yeah, but the size just didn't get transferred to me, I guess. I'm right around 6 foot.
Yeah.
5'11" on a bad day.
And what position did they have you at West Georgia?
West Georgia, they had me at fullback, but I think high school kind of hindered me with my position because I played guard for 3 years.
Yeah, now
I wasn't going to be a guard in college, so
I think that's the big hurting factor for you. The same thing hurt Colton.
yeah.
Playing
Don't
out.
let you play what you want to play. They put you where they need you.
Yeah, I think.
Or they
I
think
don't
you're
even know
good.
how to get through this high school crap. We talked about it with Colton on the podcast with him. I just wanted to coach Ohio State, Ole Miss, South Carolina. I forgot some other schools that were looking at them, but those are pretty big time schools.
Yeah.
Wanted to see Colton play linebacker,
Mm-hmm.
is either Mike or an outside linebacker, to see how change of direction
But he never got the chance.
and how he covered. If you look at the film, he's showing down, tracking down people.
Yeah.
He could run down running backs. Second state sacks.
Yeah. Phenomenal athlete.
Had a good motor. Had all the things except for the colleges wanted to see him cover. So he had a preferred walk on to Purdue. He had preferred walk-on to Nevada, and he had one to South Carolina. He had an offer to go play football at Southwestern Louisiana, I believe. Lenore Ryan offered him, but he thought, after seeing all these kids here that went big time D1, he thought he told those people that offered him walk-ons, he said, no, I feel like I'm gonna get a full ride.
Yeah.
And he was not gonna go anything less than D1 because
that's all he's seen going on.
yeah,
he's good, if not better than these guys.
And compared himself to that, but he played out of position in high school.
Yeah.
So for people who play out of position in high school, I would transfer high schools.
Mm-hmm.
I would leave.
That's what
I encourage. I'll put it on record. Local high school down here, I encourage some kids to leave. If the coach is not going to play you in the position that you need to play, leave.
Yeah.
You know, because I've seen coaches around here hurt kids.
Yeah. If it
hurt their recruiting ability.
Yeah.
So it's Washington State flew all the way here to see Colton. You know, then he plays out of position. Well, that's where we need him. And all I did was ask for him to be played in non-region games or scrimmage games that don't count, only for a few plays.
Yeah, just to get a little bit of film.
Yeah, just something.
Yeah.
And they ridiculed him because, you know, high school coaches don't like me. And so that's all I said to him. Colton came home yelling at me, don't you ever say anything to them. Because they embarrassed him. So any other kid that goes to that school,
and they don't play at the position,
leave.
Yeah.
Get the freak out, because that coach don't care about you.
You don't.
No, don't.
I mean, if it was
it's so frustrating, and it makes me so mad. If you're a coach, you're supposed to be helping these kids.
Yeah.
And if you ain't in it for the kid, you need to find another job. Go do something else. And if you want to come after me, because I'll take care of myself, because I'm helping these kids, and all these other people are a bunch of jackass. That pisses me off. Hey, I'm there for the kid. You're going to preach brotherhood and unity, and you're going to hurt a kid's future? Man, screw off.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for the new coaching staff coming in my senior year, I wouldn't be playing college.
But that hurt you too.
Yeah.
You're not a guard.
Exactly.
A 4.740 at 220 pounds, 6 foot.
Like
come on, coaches! You got to be freaking kidding me.
Freshman year, I wanted to play fullback and linebacker, and my coach said, "No, Landon, get your ass over here. You're gonna be a guard." I was like, "Really?"
Yeah.
They said that you could choose your position, and I chose my position, and they told me no.
And we had another kid that goes to another school down the street this other direction. They wouldn't even play the most athletic kid, Seymour.
Yeah.
You got a kid jumping a 33-inch vertical with 35s in each hand, 600 deadlift, no belt. Ends up getting a ride. He's going to Cornell.
Yeah.
But the other high school wouldn't even play him.
Exactly.
Same thing. I talked to Joe Walker on a lot. He had the same at his high school. He had to transfer high schools to play.
Yeah.
Kids, if you want to go somewhere and play high school, if you want to go to college and play, and you got someone that's not playing you in the right position, or they're not trying to help you play what you want to play, to where you know, a high school coach knows what your body build is, what it is at the next level, and how to get there.
Yeah. And the coaches, they would always preach, we're putting you the best place to get recruited, and I'm like, no, you're not. I'm not a guard. This is like, yeah, it was fun playing that position, pulling guard, but
you wanted to go.
I want to play college ball.
Yeah,
and I think it hindered me playing the offensive line. It hindered me from getting to a bigger school.
Yeah,
and where I could have gone.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes it's a blessing. Like being at West Georgia is going to help you. Like Joe was at Army, it ended up helping him. And so I just have a frustration with kids being played out of position, because my own kid got screwed over.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of other kids get screwed over. I'm in a position to where I've got kids at most of all the high schools around here. Usually, if you come here, you want to go to college.
Yeah, that was the main thing for me. Is I saw I wanted to play college football, and my dad was like, "Well, let's go here."
Yeah, it's because that's a kid's dream.
Yeah.
If you want it, I'll try my hardest to help you with your physical ability to get to where you want to go. I can only do so much because I can't lift the weight for you.
Exactly.
I can't go jump for you. I can help you.
You got to have the want to come in here and get better too.
Yeah, and these coaches got to have the want to help you
Exactly.
succeed. You know, like you got position coaches. I mean, the head coach may have some shots called sometimes, but hey, we're going to help you. So this is for our team, and they want to teach team unity. We're a team. We're all brothers. But the only person they care about is themselves.
And their record and their job. And
Well, I guess it's record sport. If you're not a high, but there's some things you could do. You didn't have to totally. You could have got some other film on some other positions.
Yeah.
You know, coaches, do your job. Your job as a coach is to help someone be better than what you were. You know, if you went and played D1 ball, get a kid to go to a higher D1 level ball. Maybe if you were in just a Sun Belt conference, the Fun Belt, you may want them to get them to go maybe to a Power 5 school. Make someone better than what you are.
Yeah.
You're stronger than what I was at the high school level. I got all my guys at Clayton, not all of them, but try to get most of my people at Clayton State to outjump me. You've outjumped me with some dumbbells. I try to make people outdo me. I've jumped a 29 on the mat with 40s in each hand. So it's not like you're trying to beat me and I'm jumping low 20s. So if you can beat me, you're gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
You're what? You had a 37-inch vertical?
37.5.
Yeah, my best was a 37.0.
Yeah.
You know, you beat me. Colton, Kyle, Cody, Johnny, Peck.
A lot of people.
Yeah,
There's a lot
James.
of-
Hell, I got Jameson, a kicker,
Yeah.
that outjumps me. Jameson benched 375 as well in high school as a kicker. Don't walk up on that kicker; you'll get snapped. So we'll see how that goes with them. So that'd be pretty fun. You know, I just hopefully he does good in the draft and stuff like that, because that's a kicker. I'd love for him to get a shot at the NFL Combine, because if he gets a shot at the Combine, he'll break all the existing kicking records.
Yeah.
So that's people walking in, so that's okay. Hello, everybody. So yeah, I would have them transfer if they're out. You know, just
You're not playing the position you need to play to get to the next level. You need to.
yeah, because when you Colton needed to play linebacker and a defensive end, all the recruiting stuff was.
All the recruiting stuff was there. It was just he was not playing the right position. They wanted him as a player, but they
Yeah.
wanted another position he was playing.
And the colleges had the power because they don't want to give out the scholarships.
And they only give out a certain amount.
And so it's like, if they got the power, you need to show them what they want.
Yeah.
And if the coach is doing the right job, that's why I got some other kids, they transfer schools in order to play. If you're out of position, it's going to be much harder for you to get recruited.
Yeah.
They said, no, he'll get recruited because of his stuff.
Like I would go to camps at the position I wanted to play, and I'd play that position at camps, and coaches would be like, "What position you play in high school? Is this your position? Like is your full position?" I'm like, "No, they don't play me at this position."
Yeah, and we went to.
And they want to know why, and you don't have a reason.
Yeah, and they're looking, okay, well, something's wrong with this kid if he's not playing this position. So that's very frustrating. Joe, Joe was fortunate enough to get a scholarship to go to Army. You were fortunate enough to go to West Georgia. Colton just told the world to screw off. I don't blame him. So same thing with Seymour. Seymour got offered, but he had to change schools.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care about promoting that stuff, because this is talk. This is real, and people got to recognize real. You know, if
People might not think like that actually happened, but like these are real life experiences that actually happened and have caused. I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing that it's caused bad things in my life, but I could have gone further than our higher school.
Jameson was another kid that didn't play at his original high school. Now he broke the all-time scoring record for Toledo.
Exactly.
The opportunities, and he went and even played.
Yeah.
I think Will Lutz had a hard time in high school too, kicking. Had to go to walk on at Georgia State. Now he's in the NFL. Kicks for the Saints, been kicking for the Saints for 30 years.
Yep. Hitting game winners against the Falcons and stuff.
And so I'm just a little frustrated, you know. And sad for the kids because that's what they want. Help them. You know, if you're a coach, help them.
When you have a lifelong dream and something that's hindering you from that, and you can't get there because you're not playing the right position, it sucks.
Yeah, and you can't do anything about it. And if you ask the coach, hey, you don't have to play there the whole time. Just get a little film. Then they criticize you, make you feel bad.
Like, oh,
then they embarrass.
It's a team game.
Then they embarrass you in front of everything.
Call you out during practice.
Yeah, and just make you belittle you.
Yeah.
When it's their job to raise you up.
Yeah, it's because you want to pursue a dream.
Yeah, you know, it's and you got 220. You're what, 240 now?
Yeah, 235, 240.
Yeah, still jumping mid 30s. Crazy, folks. Hate to get off on that on that rant too much, but we probably pulled about 10 minutes on that. But that's okay.
That's good.
But anyway, Landon, would you like for anybody to follow you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram at landon.mathis.52 and on Twitter at landonmathis52.
Yeah, follow, keep up with Landon. Plays at University of West Georgia. GoWolves.com. What's the website?
UWGsports.com.
Okay. And if y'all have any questions for me, you can always email me at info@explosivemechanics. Email me at info@explosivemechanics. My Instagram is at explosivemechanics. Twitter at explosivemec. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Landon, for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So I don't know how much we covered. My brain kind of real scattered. So we'll see what it is. Tell your dad I said hello, and encourage your cousins to be better than what they think, because you can do it.
Oh, yeah.
You can be whatever you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta circle yourself with the right people. So
That's right.
anyway, thanks everybody. Have a good day.
Good.
Not too bad. I hated to get off on the rant. They walked in.
Got a little heated.
Whatever. So,
Oh.
I'm so damn stiff.